What's up, guys? So I'm out here on this property right now. We have a home camera for the CuddeLink system, and it's been down for about a month, and I'm pretty sure that it either got knocked over or maybe one of the cellular antennas fell off. But this is a full system out here. There's 23 other cameras connected to it, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna find here, but I wanted to roll the GoPro here just to go through whatever kind of fixes need to happen to get this camera back up and running. So let's go see what we got going on. So as I suspected, the stake was not in the ground well enough and the camera fell off. Yikes. All right, well, first thing we can see here is the camera is saying battery dead. So you can also see that the cord to the solar is cut off. I'm just going to pull that out. So battery's dead, but it's still got some juice in there because it's saying the battery is dead. See that? This will be fine. So it looks like this camera's still gonna work, but actually I'm just gonna take this paddle off. So I was prepared pretty much for anything here. So I brought, you know, all the parts that I might need to fix this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna take these batteries out to start. And then you'll notice after I take the batteries out here, there's still juice in the camera. It's still saying the battery's dead. So before I repair this and put new batteries in, I'm just gonna hit the mode button until the camera completely dies. And this is typically how you can fix, I don't know, a really good percentage of your, okay, you can see it went dead. All the juice is gone. So this is typically how you can fix a really good percentage of your CuddeLink issues with any camera, any camera that's connected to the CuddeLink system. If you're having problems with it, taking the batteries out, hitting the mode button until the camera is completely void of all its juice is, you know, and then reinserting the batteries and turning it back on fixes a very large percentage of CuddeLink camera problems. So now that that's out, I'm actually going to take this SD card too, and I'm going to put a new SD card in. Probably going to change out a bunch of SD cards, so I'm just going to put all the SD cards that I pull in this one pocket, so I know that these are all cards that need to be gone through, because this camera went down like right before the dumping of snow that we got in Wisconsin, and we got a bunch of these cameras on winter food, and I'm certain that we got tons of good pictures that we just haven't been getting for the last month, and now you can see all the snow's gone. Nice day to come in here and do this. So strip this down. The solar panel's probably still going to be good. It just needs to be faced at the sun so we can get a little recharge, but with the batteries in the camera, that'll give the solar panel time to charge back up. Show you all the stuff that I brought here. So I got a new SD card. I got a new metal C2 to C2 cable to go from the solar panel to the camera. I brought some straps because I'm going to put this camera on one of these trees here instead of on the stake that it was on. That's a good lesson learned when the ground, you know, goes out of freeze thaw. good chance those stakes could fall over, especially when you're in a place like this, kind of on a hill. So that's a good lesson learned. You know, the home camera's going to be more secure if it's on a tree. I actually failed to bring an extra Cuddy Link antenna, but this one still looks like it's going to work, and I'm going to be out here for a little while this afternoon, so if I need to rob one of these antennas off of one of the remotes, you know, and just take the remote home and bring it back next time, I'll do that. But I got new paddle antennas and then batteries, so I'm just going to start by putting a new SD card in the camera here. Could really be in trouble if a person didn't bring the right stuff here. So SD cards in, we'll put the new paddle antennas on. These are the cellular antennas. I did bring a new home camera in case this thing fails, so I don't want to use that, but we will if we have to. Alright, I'll throw the Cuddy Link antenna back on. So for those of you who may be watching who don't use the Cuddy Link system, these are the cellular antennas, these paddles. This is the Cuddy Link antenna. This is what links it up through the daisy chain system to all the rest of your Cuddy Link cameras. So this antenna is very important. Even though it's chewed like this, it still should work. Before I put the batteries in, this is a practice that you always want to do to make sure that your camera reads the external power. You always want to plug in the external power before putting the internal batteries in. Lots of very, very good tips and tricks that are important for you Cuddy Link users out there. Alright, so that's in. See, it goes in the brown there. We'll just turn it to secure it, and then we will plug this into the bottom of the camera. And I'm assuming that the solar panel is dead of any juice. It's showing an error, so I'm actually gonna pull that out, and again I'm gonna kill the camera, and we will start with the batteries instead in this case. Never know what you're gonna run into, and I'm not certain what that error is. I don't have the list of error codes with me, and I don't have them memorized. But that was an error that showed up when I plugged the solar panel in, which has been laying face down on the ground, not getting any sun, you know, for the last month, the way it looks. Alright, so I put the batteries in, and immediately it says welcome. So we will secure the battery back here. Now, even though the camera was laying on the ground, you know, battery dead, not been working, we should not have lost any of the internal settings on the camera. So what I mean by that is, you know, the location still should be right. It still should be on the cellular network. Cellular should be on. We should have the channel correct. And those are the main things that we need to have correct to make sure that the camera is going to link back up with all the other cameras when we get it on here. So it says welcome, and then press up. 3:01 p.m. It looks like it held its time. It's 3:05 p.m. So, all right, to do the clock. Just press the up arrow. Now the 3 hour is correct. So we'll just move it over to the minutes and we'll go to .305. And now we'll go to the date, 2/9/2024. That's still correct. So next we're going over to commands, and then we're going to hit, so these batteries are new. It says battery okay. That's what it says when you're just running the internal batteries in the camera. If it was reading external power, it would say EXT okay if the external was good. But we got bat okay. We're just going to hit the more button until we get to cell menu. Okay, now that we're on cell menu, we're going to hit the up arrow twice to go through the cell menu. So cell mode, like I said, that still should be on, and it is. Cell rate still set to 1 hour. And now here's the moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this to connect with the cell test. So to run the cell test, we're just hitting the up arrow twice. And now it says busy as it's trying to connect to the cellular network. And as long as we get a success here, this camera is good to roll. So we'll just keep watching it here. This is a Verizon camera. This is G5109. I do have 2 bars of reception on my phone here. And as long as you have 2 bars, you know, that should be plenty for the camera to connect. If you're kind of wondering if a camera is going to work in your area, if you can take your phone out, you know, like I got a Verizon phone, this is a Verizon camera. If I can text a picture and have it go through no problem with my phone, that should be plenty for the camera to work. So, see, it's just taking a minute here, but oh baby, we got a success. So, I'm actually pretty impressed. I mean, these are pretty resilient cameras. So just this laid here in 20 inches of snow, I mean, just, I'm sure got pounded by weather. As much of a pounding as you could probably take. And we got success. New antennas. So the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna swing back around to commands again, and we're going to go to the link menu. To get into the link menu, I'm hitting the up arrow twice. Link mode is home. Location is 1. Still only got 1 node right now because the other ones have not connected yet. And the channel's still there, 1015. And that's it. That's it. This, as soon as we arm this thing, it is good to go. So I'm gonna figure out where I want to put this on a tree here and get it all set up, and then we'll talk a little bit more. While I'm doing that, I'm just gonna move this over to clock. Clock is just a safe place to have your camera, you know, in this in-between downtime. Moved up the trail a little bit. This tree right here is still right on the edge of this field, and the solar panel is going to get good sunlight when I do put a solar panel on here. So that's going to be a little bit more secure than on a stake, right, with this freezing and thawing going on. So once we have it on there, we ran the cell test, we're connected, and now all we need to do is arm the camera. We are ready to arm this. So we're just gonna go over here to arm. And it started counting down. So just to be safe, I'm gonna take one of the other cameras in this system and just remove it and take the Cuddy-Link antenna, this one, off, and I'm also going to plug in a good charged solar panel to this, because this is the home camera. This is the most important camera in the system. You can see it's taking pictures of me right now. So we're going to know pretty soon whether or not this is working fully, but as long as it's doing this, it should be. So let's just close it up and we will move on to the rest of the cameras. All right, so like I said I was gonna do, I got a solar panel from a different camera, got my strap for it, and then I have a nice not chewed, not bent Cuddy-Link antenna to put on here. So all I did with this camera, while I'm gonna plug this stuff in, is I put it in clock mode. I know that it came on and connected to the rest of the system as we got a dump of pictures, which I'll show you. You can see ran the cell test, it was a success, and then at 3:54 got some pictures, and you can see me setting up and doing my video here. So it's going to start cycling back through the pictures from when it went down, so your pictures are going to be very backed up. So that's why I got a bunch of SD cards with me, and I'm taking SD cards out of the cameras that I think produce the most pictures and putting a fresh SD card in, so I'll just have to look at the pictures off of the SD card. You know, and that way your system won't be backed up. But you know, we're good to go here. Everything's working. I'll be, from when I put the solar panel on and the new Cuddy-Link antenna, I'll be out here for at least another hour, so I'll be able to see, you know, if the next dump of pictures come through, and if there's any problems, then I'll just come back here and run the cell test again before I head out. So far so good. Let's put this stuff on. So I'm just quickly, I guess I might need to take this off here real quick. All right, so the new one's on. Throw the strap for the solar panel on the tree. Face the sun here. I'm actually going to check and make sure I got my direction here with the compass. So there's west, south, southwest. So I guess I'll point the solar right this way. Now, this is a solar panel. When it was on the camera I took it from, it read EXT OK. So I know for certain that this panel is good. Just throw it on. In this case, I did not take the batteries out of the camera and kill it before plugging in the solar panel, so it's a risk of the system not reading the solar panel. However, the system is still going to run off of the solar panel even if it doesn't read it correctly, and I can fix it next time I'm on the property. We're armed and counting down. This was really good. You know, many of you users are running the G-Series cell camera, and probably the biggest takeaway is just to be prepared when you go check your cameras. Have the extra accessories that you need. C2 to C2 cables, SD cards, paddles, the CuddeLink antenna, you know, even extra external battery, a couple extra solar panels, a couple extra battery packs, the straps, the posts, you know, you just things to cut to make sure your camera setup is good. You just never know what you're gonna need. And you know, the beauty of these cameras is it's sending us pictures and we could be hours away. Personally, my property is, I live almost 4 hours from the main place that I hunt. This property's 2.5 hours from me, you know, and we've been so busy over the past month. And yeah, it's not deer season. If it was deer season, obviously we would have prioritized coming out here and fixing this. But, you know, to get all the way out here and not have the tools that we need to fix this camera, I mean, that's 5 hours wasted in just drive time. So very good tip, just to keep those things in stock and be prepared and make your life a lot easier. So thanks for watching. I plan on firing back up a lot of these CuddeLink videos. There's some new products that are out, and I want to update some things, and there's just so many little tips and tricks that are very important. So thanks for watching. Cheers to 2024. Take care, everybody.